Okay, before you ask, yes, I stole this idea from Twitter. How far has every legend gone in tournament? And not like in the lore, but actual real life championships. And to make this easier for myself, I'm gonna do the legends by release date and only notable championships. So I'm sorry if I missed the fact that Anime Fan 1266 won a tournament with Lord Vraxx back in 2017 with like 5 entrants. Wait, Anime Fan 1266 is a real player? And so is Fredburger and Truck Stop Burrito? Who are these people? What are these names? I guess the fact that I don't know these players proves I'm not so perfect in these rankings, and all this was decided on a Twitch stream. So if you wanted a different tournament, you should have been at the Twitch stream. Anything else you want to say, Alama?
He's a he knows he's nothing to me. I own him. I put him in the dirt.
And you shut up.
I own you. I own you.
Yes, this is another plug for my Twitch. I stream for hours every single night. Okay, let's get started. For those of you who may not know the tournament scene very well, BCX is one of the highest achievements, and there's a difference between a regional BCX and a world BCX. Like at a LAN. Bodvar is essentially the face of Brawlhalla, and he's won many of these BCX tournaments, a few regional online ones, and one in person. He won the regional online Europe BCX with Swada, and in Southeast Asia, Sire won with Bodvar. Okay, turns out it's actually pronounced Bodvar. That's my fault. Sorry about that. All right, moving on from that. Back in 2017, Remy also played Bodvar in the grand finals of BCX's 2v2 tournament alongside his teammate Boomy. And what's interesting is that Boomy would play the next character on the list, Cassidy, in the 2019 2v2 BCX grand finals and win. And during the interview after winning the world championship, they mentioned Boomy says it's been too long since he's won, despite him winning multiple lands that year and having won the world championship 2 years ago. So I guess it just kind of shows the expectations he had on himself in the 2v2 category were just insane. Next is Orion, which is pretty much universally the most hated character in Brawlhalla, despite not having a super strong esports trophy case. Someone who really redefined this character was Stingray. In a time where there wasn't much signature usage in Brawlhalla, Stingray's really fast movement led up for some signature usage. His most notable placements being the Steel Series Invitational in North America of 2022, and his breakout Winter Championship performance in the first year of online. Stingray was also painted as a villain at times, which suited him really well because he played the Black Knight. Next on the list is everyone's favorite alien, Lord Vraxx, which is also surprisingly one of the only other characters we see Cody Travis play. Cody is known for being the best in the world at Barraza, but has occasionally pulled out his Vraxx and won a 2v2 Winter Championship with him. Vraxx has the same stat issues as similar other characters with really high decks, but it kind of works with his kit anyways, because he's got a lot of good signatures, so maybe in 2v2s he's a good pick. I'm not so sure because he hasn't played in total that much, but somehow Cody managed to drop 953 damage in the final game. I don't know how this is how did that happen? I don't know. And Sandstorm took like 700, despite being in his lore the oldest human alive. Gnash has not actually had the greatest competitive history. Akno used him to defeat Simple back in 2020 when Akno could literally play any character and win a tournament. But besides that, really, Lopez and Fiend are some notable Gnash mains with placements at CEO 2019 Grand Finals for 2v2s. And on a side note, when researching these characters, there's many early on Brawlhalla YouTubers who are associated with them, and it's kind of odd to see where they ended up going. Defensive was one of the OG Gnash players, and now he only makes videos for the Battle Pass reveals, and Stefanifro was a Orion one-trick who became a Brawlhalla VTuber. Queen Nai is one of my favorites to talk about because I thought the tournament that she did really well in was almost like a Brawlhalla fever dream. Queen Nai took over the Japan scene when Compton won the Japan Invitational this year with Nai. Also, Fiend did this to Meg Dion Nai. Okay, this is me recording 2 days after the original recording, so if my voice sounds different, that is why. And despite Ethan being recognized as one of the key Hattori mains and recently Java, Remy has the most accolades and highest achievement on the character, such as winning DreamHack Montreal 2v2s. So Sir Roland's best ever placement would be winning DreamHack Austin, and luckily Costlix made a YouTube video documenting the entire experience from a super long time ago. So Costlix would be Wrenched in the grand finals, and you can look at young Wrenched, and I I kind of forgot how early on he was into the scene. It's also weird that Koslik's aged so much and Wrench just also looks the exact same as he did then to now. Koslik would also have some notable performances on his main Scarlet, the next legend, with getting second place in Steel Series of 2020. Everyone's favorite low-tier pro, I'm Llama, has recently had some pretty good performances on Thatch, top 8ing Winters, and almost making the cut to MSI, but in 2020, Fiend would actually win the South American Spring Championship using Thatch in a few of his rounds.
Oh man, that's it! He did it! Hey, you've been talking about that! There. Oh, that is so Fiend! That is classic Fiend!
Fun fact, Ada was the first ever legend brought to level 100 by Koala Crocky, who also used her in CEO Dreamland of 2016 Doubles Runback. LDZ would heavily popularize the schoolgirl outfit on Ada with the sunset colors. Sentinel does not receive a lot of love in Brawlhalla. Lakin, a popular YouTuber for Brawlhalla, used to play Sentinel, and Lakin's still like normal. He's doing well, so don't worry. Other than Sandstorm using Sentinel a few sets, when Guitar sat on top of the meta, you would only ever see Java get second place at Winters of 2021 using Sentinel, but this was during Boomy's like second coming of Petra, and that did not go well for Java or the Sentinel mains out there. Now Lucien won the 2017 BCX, and this was amazing because LDZ had just become the first two-time BCX champion in Brawlhalla, and from my understanding at the time, LDZ was just like miles ahead of everyone else in the competition, and to a beginner, Lucien doesn't seem like the best pick. He's got 2 string weapons mixed in with the fact that he has very little damage. However, LDZ made good use of the signature kit and took down Addy Mystic's Val, who has a significant amount of defense to her stat line. Alright, let me see who's next. Teros is a bit of a harder one because there's a lot of 2v2 performances with Teros, such as 21 BCX for Europe. However, I would say the most impressive Teros gameplay I think we've ever seen is Luna at Omen Oasis. This is pretty much just straight Teros gameplay, and he made Hammer look like it was guitars at the rate that he was just swinging the weapon around. It's also just, he had lost to Snowy at Winters, and it was like, this was his time to make the comeback, and he did it really well in Teros. At DreamHack Rotterdam, Brynn would win the 2v2 side of the tournament. Despite Blaze not being the 1v1 player his teammate Akno is, Blaze is excellent in 2v2s, and especially on his Brynn pick. Boomy and Sandstorm were unbelievably strong at this point in the year, having lots of comfort in their Xull Cassidy pick. However, for whatever reason, Boomy used Rayman for his grand final set against Akno and Blaze, and they lost. And only like a month later would he switch back to Cassidy and win BCX with Sandstorm. But regardless, Blaze's Brynn is the best Brynn in doubles. Now, when it comes to Asuri, I'm scared. There's a part of me that's like, wow, Wrench has been playing for a super long time. Him winning Shine is the best Asuri win. Then I get a tap on my shoulder, and it kind of goes something like this. What about Noel Von Decay, huh? What about him winning Shine in 2017? And after hearing this information, well knowing that one mistake could fatally end my YouTube reputation with the pro scene, hate to inform you, fellow boomers, that Wrenched ending Sandstorm's 2019 land streak, to me, was vastly more impressive and my favorite Asuri performance. Other than Dummy, of course, winning the much more impressive OCE BCX. The only thing sadder than losing Sandstorm to Multiverses was Dummy not winning the back-to-back OCE BCX titles. For Barraza, it would be a crime if I didn't mention Cody Travis's top performance, which would be winning the 2021 online BCX in North America. Ember is a bit of an old one on stream, follow the stream. The most recommended Ember set is 2016 Zaloxury beats Boomy on Ember. Not much to say about this pick. Ember is cool. Also, I think the mouse skin is good. I know many people may disagree with this, but I like the mouse skin. Azoth is infamously associated with Webs and well associated with Blazy for some of their placements. Blazy won the last chance qualifier for BCX in 2020, and Webs won a free battle pass from a streamer. Koji is super popular in Europe, mainly because of Akno and sometimes Godly winning multiple championships, but the best placement by far is the 2016 Brawlhalla World Championship. LDZ won first place on Koji. Ulgrim has been a part of so much in this game's history, and I literally could end up talking about him the entire video. However, that would be really boring, so it's worth mentioning M4Mini's many victories on top of Wes's incredible performances with them. I'll just put a few of them on the screen. Diana is a character with just so much potential, like ridiculous stat line, really good signatures, but never breaks through to the top. Boomy made Diana obviously like an iconic pick in the 2018 World Championship. Boomy's set versus Sandstorm was huge for the scene and got millions of views. Now for an actual placement on Diana, Boomy did win the 2v2s side of BCX that year with Remy's Bodvar. The first winter championship of the COVID era era, Pugsy's Jhala would beat Stingray in his breakout performance. Jhala had this absurd neutral sig combo on sword that was essential for Pugsy's win. If she caught you with D-Sig, it was guaranteed that if you could hit the combo, you could follow up with the N-Sig. Mix that in with Jhala's absurd strength, and it just made for a super deadly combo. And Pugsy even recently placed well with Jhala in the Autumn Championship. However, I still think Pugsy's winter victory is more impressive because it was the first of the entire COVID shutdown era, and we didn't really know who was going to be on top initially. Core sadly has not had many crazy placements. I know there's a lot of Sandstorm's pick coming up, so I'm trying my hardest not to mention him too much, but towards the end of Sandstorm's career, he did have his best ever winter championship placement with a 3rd on core. Also, if you buy the Jake crossover skin with the purple color scheme, then the Gold Forge gauntlets, you can beat Thanos in game. Always thought that was cool. Never seen anyone rock it. I think we should see more of it. Shang honestly is most popular probably for the 2 videos Lord Whitewolf made on him. But in his competitive career, I think his highest placement is also from Sandstorm when he won the Summers 2021 tournament. Val has a lot of top placements. I really liked that Simba and Santi finally won a 2v2 grand finals with them. I also really like MSI's 2nd place Megdi performance on Val. And then of course there's Addy Messick at BCX of 2017, Pavelski winning tournaments, Godly winning tournaments, and Val is just a super solid competitive pick, so she's all around everywhere. Ragnir won the 2017 Winter Championship, which was right after BCX, so LDZ not only could win 2 BCX championships, but also could win the Winter Championship following it, which Sandstorm never did. Cross for the longest time was Boomy's little side experiment because Cross had blasters and a really good stat line, which just made sense for Boomy to try to pick him up when Gauntlets was in the top of the meta, but it just never quite worked out. And recently in 2v2s, Cross has been getting a lot of good placements, especially at MSI, made an experience, made it all the way to grand finals using Cross. While they didn't win grand finals with Cross, it was impressive to see Cross make it that far and finally have that gold podium placement on such a strong character. The cleaner Mirage skin is more iconic than Mirage herself, and the only other character I can think of where the skin is more popular than the character is probably Fenrir Mordex. Boomy had by far the best Mirage placement by winning 2v2s in final round of 2019. Nyx is a bit complicated because I'm a big fan of the Sandstorm blue set, and I should choose that one and talk about it because I guess this is my channel and these are my videos I'm making. It would only make sense for me to talk about my favorite sets. But being that these videos are heavily influenced by the Brawlhalla community, I would be put on trial if I didn't say the Nyx in the Autumn Championship versus Cody Travis is the most notable Nyx placement. It's whatever, I guess. It isn't like blue was supposed to be the EU weapon versus Sandstorm, then after his loss he never returned to his previous dominance or whatever. Have it your way. Fine. Fine. I don't care. I don't care. I do care. I care. Mordex. Has this character even won a tournament? He has? Okay, let me look. According to Boomy's statistic video, Mordex has won BCX 2018, Final Round 2019, Brawlhalla Spring 2019, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Championship, DreamHack Dallas, Summer Championship 2019, CEO 2019, Low Tier City 7, and Outplayer Dismay. Right around when the LAN era had ended and there was a total of 50 majors, Mordex had won 10 of the 50 majors and Sandstorm was responsible for all 10 of them. Okay, we're getting to a point where not a lot of the legends have been played in the pro scene, so you're gonna hear Sandstorm and Boomy a lot. Artemis went all the way to the winners semifinals when Sandstorm used him in autumns of 2021. He lost the first game to Boomy, then did not switch back to the character. Also, West lost to Lopez in grand finals of autumns 2021. The character, that's the best I can say. It's lost. It's lost a lot. In the spirit of Halloween and all those things spooky, Sandstorm won the community tournament Halloween Havoc. I forgot he was on Caspian. That's the whole importance of mentioning it. I am losing my mind. Caspian won Halloween Havoc. Sidra has lots of popularity from the Ninja 729 on his iconic fire extinguisher sword Sidra setup. Ninja 729 has only one major gold meta with Sidra in the 2019 Autumn Championship for 2v2s, and his solo performance, his highest and most notable placement, is 4th at the 2021 BCX. It's also most significant because it is a loss to his former teammate and current friend Pavelski. Xull, for those of you who may not have been around for Cannon's earlier game state, may be surprised to know it has won a lot of tournaments. Cannon used to be much quicker and have attacks that covered a large amount of area, and mix that in with Xull's absurdly high damage and you get a great string weapon that's 0 to deaths in just about every match. It gets even better when you have the best 2v2 partner in the world who just hands opponents off to you. So Sandstorm would use Xull as his doubles combo pick in the BCX BCX 2019 championship as the second half of the iconic Cassidy and Xull duo. Kaya's most impressive placement was actually recent. Akno defeated Godly in the Autumn Championship. This is interesting enough because Godly so far has been undefeated in ones, but is also another victim to the EU Autumn curse. No dominant Europe player has won all 4 seasonals before BCX. This unlucky omen of not winning the Autumn Championship typically means they won't win a BCX title, so we'll see if Godly is the first to break this curse at this year's Brawlhalla World Championship. Isiah is a fun one. Boomy picked up Isiah at the perfect time when Cannon was strong and Guns D-Light to recovery was great for early knockouts. It was also a LAN in another country and with a character that absolutely no one expected. While Isiah isn't very popular, there are a devoted few who main the character. Adam Cool 178 popularized many tech on the legend that Boomy may have used in his tournament runs. Jiro is a bit odd. Most notably, a recent Jiro main named AO Blue had an impressive Summers run, but Luna, current top pro in North America, used Jiro to win the Spring Championship. Lin Fei has had a few very impressive performances. The character shines when Katars is in meta, and her lack in defense is heavily made up for by her useful and quick signature kit. Covers a large amount of area and can be used to angle downwards, upwards, or to the side for a lot of dodge reads. Sandstorm used Lin Fei for multiple matches at low tier city, and Guichibo is currently the best Lin Fei out there with an impressive top 8 at the Spring Championship of this year. Zerial, one of my favorite legends, but definitely not one of the favorites of the pros. Maybe that explains why they are a pro and I'm not. I don't know, do you guys think that being a pro is mainly talent, or is it genetics? There was a legitimate debate for a long time that being good at video games was based entirely on genetics and reaction time. The only notable Zerial placement is Power Ranger going to Winners Semifinals and South America of 2020. If you know a better placement for Zerial though, please let me know in the comments. It's really hard to find results for this character. Rayman won both EU and NA Winters this year. I think both are equally impressive since it was Godly's first game after his unbanning, and Snowy was one of the favorite players in NA, close to Java after BCX. Both also just have incredibly different ways of playing the character and got first place on him. Okay, this actually might be harder than Zerial. Dusk is not popular at all, and not to pull out the Sandstorm card once again, but he did use Dusk for a brief moment in 2020 of Top 8 Winters. Fate had one of the most dominant LAN performances in its time when Sandstorm made it look easy to win the World Championship of 2019. From watching this set, it looks like Sandstorm's falling asleep at the wheel. Fate has excellent stats and absurdly high damage, which makes the shortest scythe strings still very impactful. Thor's highest placement would be when both Boomy and Sandstorm picked him for BCX of 2021 in 2v2s, and Luna actually swapped off his classic Teros pick to win MSI using Thor. The craziest part, honestly, was the cosmetic picks from Luna. Capra Thor with the purple color. It's not bad, but he could have gone with like lots of other stuff. I guess this is the same guy who ran Gruagok in BCX of 2020, so this is pretty tame for Luna. Petra. It is deeply painful for me that Petra did not win LTC 7. She fits the environment perfectly, she has flashy signatures, the fast-paced gameplay. Unfortunately, Boomy did not lock it out and got second, but in 2021, Boomy would win the Winters Seasonal Championship, and in 2022, Radish would have his breakout Summers Championship first place performance. Vector. Okay, the characters are gonna get really weird here, so bear with me. Same with the victories. Vector got second place in a desperate legend swap in the Mammoth Cup of 2020 when Stingray tried to pull him out against Sandstorm, and it did not go well. Volkov, with the long signature animation similar to that of Xull, he was used to win the 2021 Winters Championship on the double side of things. After the World Championship of that year, Boomy stuck to Cassidy, but after the Cannon reworks, I'm guessing Sandstorm was kind of done with the weapon, but still wanted to keep Axe in 2v2s, so instead he replaced Cannon with arguably his best weapon, which is Scythe, making Volkov the perfect pick. More Sandstorm. Sorry, literally no one else does well on these characters other than that guy. So Onyx won the Steel Series 2020 Invitational versus Costlix, so if you ever wanted to beat a Lance player, you can watch a Cannon player do it quite well. Alright, I'm gonna get a little controversial towards the end here. Yes, Jaeyoon won Mammoth, and NA BCX, and Europe BCX, and whatever else he won during that broken game state. However, in the most balanced state, or maybe not even the best state of Greatsword, Hardy MJ made it into MSI due to last second cutoff changes and went from barely qualifying to 5th place on his Jaeyoon. Speaking of cosmetics, he picked the Halloween colors and then the Negan crossover skin, and it kind of looked like he was playing himself in the game of Brawlhalla. Mako, while being a pretty solid character and actually decently cool, doesn't have a large player base in the competitive scene. Once or twice, Wrenched gave her a shot and would have have some top 8 performances during the Mammoth Cup. Speaking of the Mammoth Cup, somehow Sandstorm made Magyar work out, winning the grand finals against Stingray on his Ember. I really don't see the issue with Magyar. I mean, once again, I'm not a pro, so I wouldn't have the best guess, but if I had to make a reason why, it's probably because of her speed and rather low damage. Reno sharing Orb with Petra, and Guns with, I guess, all the Guns characters in the entire game, made a solid pick for Boomy. His best performance on Reno would be 2nd place in the Steel Series Invitational versus Stingray. Munin was supposedly a randomly picked character that Godly used to win EU Summer Championship, but I thought it was one of his best picks yet, and I wish we got to see more of Godly's bow because it's amazing. Arcadia recently was picked up by Luna, and he tried to use her a few times in the most recent Autumn Championship. It wasn't the best pick, and he says he wants to give Arcadia another shot for BCX, but I'm not so sure how that's gonna work out for him. Maybe a month is enough time for him to master the character, but I don't really know. And of course, very last, Ezio being the newest character in the game has not been explored much yet. Radish and Boomy seem to see great promise in the character. There's a few placements with him already, but I'm not so sure how legitimate they are because it's not really like they know the character yet. They just are probably very good at Brawlhalla. So that is it for every single Legends farthest placement. And once again, it was a mixture of just like the significance of the tournament, the actual placement number, the recency, if it was in person or not. There was a lot of factors that went into what, tournaments really defined how far they went, or quote unquote how far they got. So if there's anything that you don't totally agree on, the ranking system wasn't perfect, so it's totally like liable that you guys don't get it all the time. No hard feelings. Hello, it's me at 2 a.m. finishing the recording of this video. As always, thank you for making it to the very end. And once again, if you'd be so kind to follow my Twitch, my Twitter for updates on future videos, and continuing to show support by subscribing. I really appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. Enjoy your day. Thank you for being here on the planet. I don't know. Bye.